So I am building a above ground, underground cistern rainwater holding tank essentially. First step, you got to mark it, call Julie, and make sure that you're not going to hit any electrical lines, cable, gas lines, anything like that. I'm going to be building it. It's going to be 6 foot deep, about 3 foot of that's going to be underground, 3 foot's going to be above ground, and then it's going to be 7 foot long and then 3 foot deep or wide, and that's going to give me at full capacity about 700 gallons of water. I'm going to put a couple fish in there for mosquito control, but the first step is mark it and call Julie. Let's go. So as you can see there, I've got it marked with orange paint. This is the area that's going to be. I'm going to catch water off of this gutter right here. It catches water off of half my house. This should give me, with 1 inch of rain, about 450 gallons of water, and this should give me about 700 gallons of holding capacity. Let's go.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining my channel. Outside of Jeff. Today I'm going to start step 1 or phase 1 on constructing the rainwater collection system. I've been planning this out for almost a year, and I'm just now putting it into action. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig down about 4 foot, and then I'm going to build kind of a deck box looking thing about 2.5, 3 foot above the ground, right level with my deck here. It's going to come out 3 foot, and it's going to go over about 7 foot, and I'm going to line that with pond liner, and it's going to give me a holding capacity anywhere from 810 gallons to 875 gallons, depending on the rough dimensions. The dimensions I've used say 900 gallons, but I know that whenever I line it inside with what I'm going to line it with to protect the liner and do some other things, and I'm roughly estimating about 800 to 870 gallons of water holding capacity. I've already called Julie. I already did my lines, called Julie. I got email notification on everything that there were no conflicts. With digging here, I am going to be careful because there's a gas line about 4 foot to the south of me there, and I want to be cautious of that. Although they did not identify it as being in the way, I still want to be cautious about that. I had a mint bed here. I've already relocated. I've dug up about 7 clumps of mint plants, relocated them to a different spot. So now I'm going to pull these pavers up, and I'm going to start digging. I'm going to be putting all the soil in these buckets because I do not have a wheelbarrow. I'm going to be transferring those to the compost pile to use them in the other garden plots later on in the future. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put it in time-lapse mode, and we're going to get at it.
All right, let's review what we've done so far. So remove the mint, remove the pavers. This is the general outline. It's 36 inches this way, 84 inches that way. I've got to go 4 foot deep. I'm about a foot deep in the deepest part and maybe 8 inches in the shallowest part. And I've already removed 22 buckets of soil. What I'm doing is I'm filling up some old tires. I'm actually going to plant, I'm in a separate video, I'm going to do a planting sweet potatoes in tires, and I'm also filling in some low spots around the perimeter garden. So that's it for the update. Next time you see me, we'll be doing some digging. All right, everybody, so this is the progress so far. This right here, I believe from here to the top where I'm going to be building up to is 64 inches. So let's see how deep the hole is right now. We are at right at 3 foot. That's perfect. That's what I'm looking for. So we went ahead and moved over to this other side. We're going to dig it all down to 3 foot. Then I will square off this front edge, make it real nice, do some more measuring, come off this back, square it up as much as possible, and then that'll be it for the digging. Then we'll move on to the framing. We're still waiting for the pond liner to come in, and I'll show you all that once we do that. Let's get back to digging.
So we're now on day 2 of this project. Yesterday I spent a total of about 2.5 hours on digging. We were able to get down the full depth on one side, but as we've been continuing to dig, it's caving in. Not really caving in necessarily, but dirt's falling off our shovels and things. So when I'm done, I'm still going to have to take another 2 inches off of this side to get to the desired depth. We've almost got the entire, we've got about half of it to close to the desired depth. I'm thinking I need to take probably another 20 buckets out. So we're going to go ahead and get right in on it. And then we'll do measurements, and I'll see if I need to shave the sides, anything like that, fine tune it. The liner won't be here for several more days. Possibly I'm going to go ahead and try to frame it up today. We'll just see how much time allows. Otherwise I'll do that later on the week as well. Here I've got this 2x6 that I secured to this backwood. I covered this overnight. I didn't want any of my children to accidentally fall in it. So that's why this fencing material is here. I laid it over it and had it secured down. So let's get back to digging.
All right, everybody, I just finished digging the hole. The hole is 41 inches deep and it's 32 inches wide and 80 inches long this way. I did have one thing I was pretty proud of myself. Kind of came up with a solution. I'd hit a piece of brick there, this corner foundation, and I took a bunch of that clay, wet clay, and I did it like adobo style and put about 2 inches of that wet clay and mounted it up there to get rid of that sharp edge. There's some little bitty roots in here. I'm not worried about it. What I'm gonna do next, it's not gonna be today, I'm gonna take a couple days off, but got some old scrap carpet. I'm gonna line the sides of carpet with carpet, and that'll keep the roots from coming in, which these roots are from trees that are no longer here, so I don't really think I actually have to worry about that. But I'm gonna go ahead anyways to make sure there's no sharp edges for the liner. And then on the bottom, I'm gonna get about 4 bags of play sand and line the bottom, so the bottom of the liner has a nice smooth surface there. So this will be it. Next time you see the project, we'll be doing the carpeting, and then we'll be building the frame, and then hopefully the liner will be in and we'll be taking care of the liner. So yeah, thanks for continuing to watch this rainwater, koi pond, bluegill pond collection video. Have a great day from my garden to yours.
All right, everybody, all the excavation's now done on this hole. We had a little bit of settling, and I kind of wanted to level it out a little bit more than it was. So I got another 5-gallon buckets, about 3/4 full worth of dirt out of here. My next step is I've got some carpet that I'm gonna lay in the bottom, and then I'll be putting sand on there, and then I'm gonna start framing up the back and the sides, and then hanging the carpet just to act as a weed barrier or a root barrier, and then we'll just get into it from there. Let's get it.
All right, let's take a look at the progress so far. So I've got my little access panel here. I've got 3 sides completely done. I've got the carpet installed. You've seen me in the time lapse. I secured it with liquid nails, and I came back on the very top edge and put screws to adhere it. My spouse is on the way to get me another thing of liquid nails. I'm gonna come back and put some more liquid nails on there to make sure I get a really good bond. I put 5 bags of sand in the bottom, so the bottom will have, I put carpet in the bottom, as you've seen at the beginning, and then I put the sand in the bottom so it'd be a smooth surface, and it kind of helps keep the bottom of the carpet down. Once she gets back with liquid nails, I'm gonna put some more carpet along the front. I'll secure the front, and then the next step will be bringing the liner. They suggest keeping the liner outside flat for a couple hours to kind of loosen it up. So as you can see, there it's in my front yard laying flat. Once I'm ready for it, I'll clean up this whole area so there's no snags around, and then I will attempt to put it in. So that'll be the next step. Back to some time-lapse footage.
All right, everybody, I've got it all framed up. Carpet's installed. Let me bring you in. Carpet's installed all around the edges. I've got the sand in there. I'm gonna go and get a big broom. I've got these blankets laid along the edges just so there won't be any rough edges whenever I go to bring in the liner. The liner weighs about 50 pounds, so I'm gonna have to probably fight it a little bit to get it in here, but we're getting close, guys. We're getting close. All right, I've got the liner in place as good as I can. Now I'm filling it up about a third of the way, halfway, so I can kind of see how where the liner's going to place itself at. And then at that point, I will go ahead and start reinforcing the top and constructing the lid. I'll check back in with you when we've got some more water in here. All right, so I've taken some blocks around the edge at the top of the water line, put liquid gasket behind them, and use that to secure the tarp on the edge. I left plenty of slack to allow more room for the tarp to go down a little bit, but it feels like it's pretty good shape. I've got 2 cross support beams there. I'm gonna put another cross support beam here, and then after that I'll go around and finish trimming the tarp or the pond liner. Following step after that will be lid construction. Keep you updated on progress. It's raining right now, but I'm not letting that stop my progress. But I did want to stop and take a second to show you this. That is the first rainwater being collected at our in-town rainwater collection. That is just a beautiful sight. I cut off the downspout there, zip tied it around. It's going down there, and I've got it into a sock filter. Look at that, that's amazing. I'm gonna keep on working on the lid, getting this thing child safe, and unless it starts lightning, I'm gonna keep at it. All right, everybody, here it is. The only thing left to do is I'm going to be getting some cedar pickets, and I'm going to be completely lining the perimeter with cedar pickets.
So that's going to be really cool. I'm going to use just 1-inch screws. That way there's no chance of going through and damaging anything. So yeah, that's it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. At the end there, my phone died. I'm not exactly sure what step on the time lapse it ended on, but I am pretty sure that you did not see me do the safety lock. I have 3 kids under 5 and then 1 over 5, and I'm not worried about her, but for the little ones, I want to make sure that there's no chance that they can get in here and fall in. So I did put that safety latch. As you can see there, we're still collecting rainwater. Very happy with that. I've got some latches there. I'm going to use bolts on the top side of the latch, but right now I just have screws temporarily. Got a little lid there, reinforced. Closes nicely. A little overlap here. I might get a piece. I might strip down a piece of 1x4 and make that look a little nicer over there. But I ran out of wood. But yeah, other than, like I said, I want to finish it off with pickets just to give it a little nicer look to it. And then I'll be painting the lid probably off-white or white to kind of match the house. So, well, that's all there is for today. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make a rainwater catchment system. Have a great day.